I don't. I always come back. Girls go into sexual encounters knowing really nothing because no one's telling them what honestly happens. And then you're scared of doing it wrong. Then something happens and you go, I guess that's the way it is, but it's not. I feel like it's most girls' fear. Like we just are so scared of doing things wrong. That's why I never gave handjobs. I think I used to let guys fuck me before I even wanted them to because it's easy to be good at sex. You're just like, I'm a hole, you know? But like, when you're giving a hand job, it's like, it takes rhythm and finesse. And I just was so anxious about being bad at it. Girls don't do so many things because we think we'll be bad at it and that you'll make fun of us or judge us for it or disappoint you. And hand jobs, I avoided them. I literally ate ass before I gave a hand job. Like, I was just like, at least that's something he can't do himself, you know? Unless he's very flexible. But I was terrified of hand jobs. And that should be the first thing you do. I just feel like if I ever have a daughter, I'll drown her and wait for a son. But if I'm ever forced to have a daughter, because there's no water left to drown her in, I will tell my daughter, like, hey, first of all, any worry you have about guys judging you or you being bad at it, if they have a boner, they're not really thinking. They're not judging you. They're not storing away information to use against you. They're really dumb when they're horny, like very, very dumb. Sometimes I hook up with guys and they're so horny and like kind of like, ugh. I'm like, is this like a situation where he's like special needs and I shouldn't do this? Like, am I gonna go to jail because I took advantage of a mentally challenged man? I swear to God, he was talking about Bitcoin 20 minutes ago, but now he can't form sentences and he's grunting and making weird noises. It's just like, what happened? I remember when I gave a hand job the first time, which was my biggest fear because they do it better themselves. This is something I know I'm gonna be bad at, no matter what. They're better at it than me. They've been doing it all along, and it's true. You'll never be as good at giving a hand job as a guy is to himself. That is true. They have clocked their 10,000 hours by the time they're in 7th grade. There's no chance you'll ever be as good at them. You're never gonna clock as many hand jobs as them. So the first hand job I ever gave, I was so paranoid about doing it worse than he does it that I was like, I'll do it from behind. It was like an improv game. Like I was like, I'm your arms, you know? It was like I was Wayne Brady on Whose Line. I was like, this'll do it. The worst part, I was already feeling terrible. Then the worst part was when I caught my own reflection in the bathroom mirror. And it was just such a sad sight. It was during the day. I'd just gotten done with work. I was working at a Korean prep school, so my lanyard was just like hanging between us. And I was just like wearing this Target blazer, and the lighting was terrible, and the mirror, oh my God. So it was a mirror here, and then a mirror on this side. So it was infinity of me just like giving this sad hand job. Just like, it was the saddest Rockettes you've ever seen. It was like Christmas splooge-tacular. Like, I was just like, oh God. And that's when I started to shame spiral of like, you're such a dumb slut. Like, you're just giving this guy pleasure. He doesn't like you. He's probably never gonna talk to you again. He got nothing out of this. And I just started going to this place. And then I was like, wait, like, I'm not getting nothing out of this. Like, this is kind of hilarious. And maybe at the time I wasn't thinking I'm gonna tell thousands of people in Denver someday. But I thought I might tell my friends. And that was enough for me of just being like, this is funny. Because sex is hilarious. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're like, I'm being used and this, I'm just like, I'm getting nothing out of this, just make it funny for yourself and like make it for you. Because I swear to God, I remember I just had that thought and then I like straightened up my posture and kind of getting like a swagger with it. And I looked back at myself and I winked. I was like, we got this, girls. Like we were the Spice Girls before a final reunion performance. I felt charged up from it. I was like, this is wild. I've never done anything like this in my life. I didn't kiss a boy until I was 17. I was scared of men, and now I'm jerking this guy off over a toilet. Like, I'm cool. I remember skipping out of his house. I remember skipping to my fucking car that had been towed while I was doing it. So it was a low point in my life, but it was a high point, because I was like, I'm a weird, cool whore. And like, I don't know, I just can't wait to tell someone about it. Some of the most empowering days of my life have been from me doing just kind of slutty, degrading things that on paper could be, you know, oh, that's so sad. But I'm like, I never thought I could do this, and I'm doing it. Like, if you would have asked me 4 years ago, Nikki, will you ever eat ass? I would have been like, yeah, I did 2 years ago. But if you would have asked me 6 years ago, will I ever eat ass? I'd have been like, this is a weird census. Get off my porch. But I would have said, is this really what they're asking now? Okay, no, I would have said, hell no. I would have signed off to go to my grave without eating ass. Who needs to do that? And ironically enough, since I've done it, I call eating ass going to the grave. But just based on the taste alone, but I have done it. I don't know how I did it. I only know that I got horny enough that it seemed like a good idea. I got as stupid as I've seen men get when they get horny, and I got there. I was able to do something I never would have thought. If you would have asked me 10 seconds before I did it, if I would ever do it, I would have been like, oh no, like, there were balls in my mouth, but oh no. Like, I would have said no, because I had no idea. But I got horny enough that it seemed like a good idea. Guys, if you get us horny enough, we will do crazy, crazy things that we swear we'd never do. Keep that in mind, seriously. You just never get us horny enough. And by the way, when I say eating ass, I wasn't like, Yoplait, fruit on the bottom. Like, it's not eating, I hate, it sounds like I'm chewing it or something. No, he didn't have a hemorrhoid. I just like... I feel like it'd be chewy. I don't know. Just like admitting that I ate ass, I'm not trying to be gross. I'm really not. I swear to God, after I ate ass, I was like, I could do anything. Like, I've licked a man's asshole. I could be president. Like, that's, you know? Then I remembered I'm a woman, and I was like, okay, scratch that. Like, but maybe I could eat a president's ass. A girl can dream. I lived with my parents during COVID for about 10 months. So now I'm looking for a husband because I don't want to do that again when it comes back. Yeah, I gotta get a husband. It's time. And it's really more about like just wanting to be with someone when the inevitable apocalypse befalls us. I just want one guy to fucking care about me. I want to be number one on a guy's list for him to be like, I gotta get to Nikki! You know, like I want that. And sure, like my dad cares about me and I'm still like, I'm on his list, but I'm lower. There's nieces and nephews, and I'm still above my mom because I kissed him on the lips when I was 26, but I earned that spot. But like, he's getting older, and I just want someone to like care when shit goes down. And it got into my head watching the movie San Andreas. Did you guys see that? Where like, there's this huge earthquake, and pretty much the only people that survive on the whole West Coast are The Rock's family that he's trying to get to the whole movie. Whole movie is him just trying to get to them in any way. And you don't stand a chance to survive unless you have The Rock looking for you. And I'm like, I gotta find my Rock. And the truth of the matter is, in a natural disaster, it's kind of everyone for themselves, you know? Like, I feel like even The Rock would just like sprint out of his mansion and leave his wife and kids behind. They're like, where are you going? He's like, just has his protein powders and his MTV Popcorn Awards and Kevin Hart in this arm. And it's just like, I gotta get to Elon's.